right? You know, that's the easy translation. But what if we just put all that paradiddle in one hand? Okay, between thumbing and plucking. So thumb, pluck, thumb, pluck, pluck. Da, 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 da. Right? And now, okay, my mind's starting to think in a different way. That's creative. Okay, but it's still just taken from other techniques. You know, it's all out there. Guitar techniques, tapping, fuzz, harmonics, all that kind of stuff. Okay, now let's get outside of music. Okay, in martial arts, they have different types of strikes. Maybe it's a palm strike or something. You know, you may take that technique and apply it to the bass and see what it sounds like. Okay, you know a person who's a martial artist, or he plays golf, or whatever. Give them your bass. What will they come out with? Okay, if I give my bass to a bass player, and this is no knock on any bass players because there are great ones out there, but I know 99%, I'm pretty much know what's going to come out. It's going to be thumbing, tapping, fingers, you know, or a combination of chords or whatever. If I give this to a golfer, I have no idea what's going to come out. That's where the sparks fly. That's where the creation really is. You take someone that's never seen the bass, they may turn it upside down and play the back of it. It may seem stupid at first, you know, but I'm sure so did Stanley Jordan. So did Bela Fleck when he said, I want to play jazz on the banjo. So did Future Man when he said, I want to play electronic drums on a guitar body. You know, so did Einstein, so did Tesla. You know, all these people were crazy. They said Monk was crazy until they realized how much of a genius he was. In my mind, everybody's a genius. It's just, are you going to go there to find it out? Are you going for it or not? So realize your geniusness and express it. Have fun with it. Just express it. Back to the tapping. You know, I was talking about just, let's just stick with G major for a minute. Okay? Right? And I'm going to play, you make a chord by skipping every other note. 1, skip the 2, play the 3, skip the 4, play the 5, or there. Now I could tap that, and I've got a G major chord, right? Another way I like to tap a G major chord is playing 1, 5, 9, major third, right? I got the 10 up here, major third. Okay, now it gives me G major. If I take that third down a half step, all of a sudden it's a totally different sound just by moving one finger. From here, major, minor, okay? So when I'm going down the scale, I'm just really going between major and minor. Here's G major, F sharp minor, E minor, D major, C major, B minor, A minor, G major. Right? So everything I just did there was either this, major, or minor. Okay? Now there's so many different ways of doing this. I could take this G major scale, right? And I could take this hand, put it up on the third, 5, 1, 5. All right? You know, so the thing is, when you start playing with these different voices, you know, and right now I'm just sticking with major, right? Major thirds. When you start playing with different voices just start triggering different parts of your brain, which is going to bring out different ideas, different parts of your creativeness, you know. And so my point being here is that if I give you something to say, and if I just say, here's G major, don't just stay there, you know. There's so many different ways that we could do this, but I'm only showing you a couple. You know, use your own brains and start figuring out, you know, other ways of doing it. And so hopefully that helps. Going down the G major scale, I was just playing major and minor chords, you know. It's another way to do it. Change the rhythm. Flam on top, a drum flam. A lot of times, I guess, when I get asked questions about music, I get asked about how do I do something that's pretty flashy, you know, and I like to call that the icing on the cake. And so I just want to spend a moment just talking about the cake, the groove, what's really important, what's going to keep you working as a bass player. And for most of the time, it's going to be playing with the fingers. You know, I spend a lot of time talking about thumbing, talking about tapping, but it's just going to be able to hold down a groove with your fingers, making these fingers sound even, you know. And so I like to go back to playing scales, okay? And let's just say I'm going to play E major. E major scale. Whether you're playing country, whether you're playing reggae, jazz, or funk, can you play that scale in that style and make someone's head bob? And if you can do that, then okay, go ahead and put some flash on top of it. But let's go back to the very basics. So if I'm going to take an E major scale, and my goal, I'm just going to go. And just try to make that scale groove. Okay, I don't have to worry, I'm not worrying about chord changes or anything. This is just a scale. Make it groove. Right? Jazz, whatever. Work it from a scale. And can you make that groove? The basics of all basics. Can you make it groove? Real quick, one last exercise just to get the fingers of both hands working together. It's a thing I used to do. I used to bring my bass to school during lunch and practice this. It's just running scales up the neck. I'll start with major. From the lowest fret I can, F major. Then go up a half step, very basic. Then do it with no pauses.